May 30th, 1967. A date etched in the stars, not with ink, but with fire. In the city of Enugu, the air itself felt heavy, not with the moisture of the rains, but with the weight of destiny. The eastern region had reached its breaking point. The shattered covenant could no longer be mended with diplomatic lies. When the Republic of Biafra was declared, it wasn't just a political border being drawn, it was a spiritual fortress being raised. The Dibia, Igbo mystics, performed the ritual of the seven suns, attempting to bind the heart of the Iroko to the new nation's flag. They believed that as long as the sun rose, the East would be invincible. They believed the pale diplomats could never return to a land that refused to stay in the dark. But the Federation, guided by the remnants of the Shadow Coven in Lagos, knew that a starving spirit is easier to break than a starving body. They didn't just block the food, they blocked the light. They brought in Soviet MiGs and British advisors, but in the cargo holds of those planes were specialists the world wasn't supposed to see. The pale diplomats had a new name, the Iron Mercenaries. The war was now two-faced. On the surface, trenches, artillery, and cold hunger. Beneath the surface, a cosmic hunt. The Iron Mercenaries were sent to find the eastern shrines. They targeted the Dibia, the keepers of the Iroko's power. One by one, the spiritual pillars of Biafra began to fall. The hunger in the land wasn't just for protein. The vampires were literally draining the spiritual vitality of the region, leaving the soldiers weak and the children hollow-eyed. By 1968, the Federation forces had pushed deep into the heartland. The final defense was at the Umuahia Grove, the birthplace of the heart. This is where the story takes a turn into the impossible. A battalion of federal soldiers, led by a vampire colonel, entered the forest. They expected an easy slaughter of starving rebels. The Ajay and the Dibia made a final stand. They used the last of the heart's energy to summon the ancestral guard. For one night, the forest fought back. The Iron Mercenaries met their match as the very soil of the East rose up to swallow them. It was a clash of two immortals, the parasitic hunger of the West versus the ancient rooted power of the Africa. The sky over Umuahia turned a bruised electric purple as magic collided with steel. The Battle of the Grove was won, but the war was being lost. The heart of the Iroko was dying. Every time a Biafran child died of the pale sickness, kwashiorkor, a crack appeared in the stone. The heart realized that it could not sustain a nation built on so much blood. The sun was rising, but it was rising over a graveyard. As the surrender papers were signed in 1970, a strange silence fell over Nigeria. The vampires vanished once more into the corporate boardrooms of London and New York. The Federation claimed victory, but the Igbos knew the truth. They hadn't lost a war. They had saved a secret. The heart was buried, waiting for a generation that would be strong enough to handle its fire without burning the world down. The sun did not set, it just went underground. And in the silence of the forest, the heart is starting to beat again.